Hey, Bengal fan. Bengals fan? Bengals fan. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Veronica. Happy Monday. Say happy Monday, Padma. Hi. Good morning. How you doing today? Hello, Revel. How's everybody doing? Let me flip this over. Happy Monday. You know what? I'm always doing these scopes when I know I have someplace to go. I'm dressed and ready to go out the door, and I'm like, then I can't really spend the time that I want to. But it's all good. I'm going to make sure and give you some good stuff today. Good day. How are you doing? Thank you guys for joining. And to all the replay viewers, thank you for joining. Please know that you can leave me some love. Love is free. Hearts are free. So, although I know they say you only have 500 a limit per day or per scope, I don't even know. But good. Glad to hear it. It's the start of a new week. And so I'm always excited about, what's ahead for us in the week. So I just want to take some time to just introduce myself. I'm Marjorie Phoenix, for those of you that are new. I am the author of the book, Who the Hell Do You Think You Are? It's a memoir. I'm a speaker, publisher, and I am the founder of the Forgotten Women Project. That's right. That is my new sponsored program. It's $500 per visit. Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. Good to know. So that's per scope. Good. All right. Yes, the Forgotten Women's Project. That's my new organization. It's a sponsored organization right now. And basically, we're going to take this year and go out, and we're going to be doing education and awareness on domestic abuse prevention. And we're also going to be holding retreats for women that are victims of domestic abuse. So I'm really excited about this. I know that there is a lot of talk out there when it comes to domestic abuse and lots of stories being shared. But I really want to have some in-depth discussions about how we can start changing some things. I'll definitely let you know. I will let you know. Right now, we're just starting off and getting some things together locally. And then I'm going to be expanding nationally. So I'll definitely keep you posted on that. And we'll have our website up and all of that type of stuff. But I am going to be starting a blab also next month. Next month is Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. So again, I want to have some tough conversations. And we're not just talking about just, people coming on and sharing personal stories. But we're going to look at all the different aspects of domestic abuse. We're going to look at physical, psychological, financial. We're going to look at local for me is in Florida. I am in Flagler Beach, which is about 20 minutes north of Daytona Beach. So in my area here, and then probably spreading out a little bit in Florida, and then sort of grow from there. So that's local. But there's so many different aspects of that. Hey, Grace, thanks for joining. We're going to look at the criminal justice system. We're going to look at intervention. We're going to look at prevention. Because I believe it's an elephant, and so we got to take little bites, right? So little solutions here and there. And so I just want to have those conversations to see how we can, ordinary people like us, can come up with some solutions, because this is not a private issue. This is a social issue. This affects our communities, whether you believe it or not. So we have to get involved and see what we can do to try and educate people and bring more awareness to this, and then help women heal after the fact. That's a big thing for me. So that's one of the things that I do as well. I work with women who've gone through abuse and trauma. Yes, I know it is well hidden. But that's why I said we have to talk about it. We really have to. And I think there's too many people have too many different stereotypes and how they view domestic abuse, and there is so much more that people just don't know if you have not experienced it personally. And everybody's story and experience is going to be different. So, but there are things that we can do. And so if we all come together collectively, we can find those solutions to that problem. So, all right, so I covered that, and so who I am, and I'm working with women that have gone through that experience through my retreats, through group. I won't even call it coaching, but I call it more guidance and mentoring. And so that brings me to today's topic. Okay, being a woman of purpose. On Friday, I mentioned that I had the opportunity to visit addiction prevention program. And what happened was I spoke to these women, and all these women have, different stories, of course. And most of these women, after they leave this program, they have no idea what they're going to do. They all were coming up to me afterwards. Oh, I have this book I want to write. Oh, I really want to do this. I want to speak. And, so they've got all these things, but they have no idea how they're going to be able to make that happen, because the circumstances of their lives right now, it's burying them. They really don't know. And they're not clear about what their purpose is. And I want to ask you, listening to this right now, do you know what your purpose is? Do you know what your purpose is? Because God has predestined and ordained a purpose for each and every one of us. We all have a unique purpose on this earth. And it's funny, I was having this conversation with my 10-year-old the other day. We were talking about, she talked about how the underwater world is the least explored. Good. All right, Veronica says, yes, she knows what her purpose is. All right. So we're going to go a step further from that. So we were talking about how the underwater world is the least explored area. And I said, you know what, that's why I love to watch like the National Geographic shows, because they go underwater, they go really deep, and they show you all these different living organisms down there and all these different creatures we've never seen. And guess what? Each one of those organisms, each one of those creatures or fish or whatever, they all serve a purpose. They all serve a purpose. I said, isn't that interesting how God does that? Everything that God created, everything serves a purpose. So when you think about that, and there's a stirring in your belly and there's something you want to do, right? And sometimes we think and we say, well, Mary Lou is doing that too, or John is doing that too. But guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. Because God has purposed you to do something, and no one's going to do it the way you're going to do it. He has made it, you are unique for that specific purpose, right? So when you speak, no one's going to be able to speak it the way you do. No one's going to carry that message the way you're going to be able to carry it. And that's what you have to understand. But this is what happens. Too many times, and I've heard this from countless women, too many times we get confused when it comes to our purpose. We talk to too many people about our purpose. We're asking everybody in our circle, what should I do? What do you think I should do? And what does that do? That leads to confusion, and that leads to a delay. You don't move on it. You have doubts about what God has called you to do, because everybody else is feeding into you what they think that you should do. And on top of that, then this is really sad that I've seen. I've met a lot of women in college, and when people ask me about my degree and what job I'm going to have, I tell them I am not going to college for a degree to get a job. That was never my intention. But yet all of y'all sitting in this classroom, that's exactly what y'all are doing, right? And there are women sitting in there that are going for a nursing degree, and they don't want to be a nurse. They have no passion for being a nurse. There are women in there going for teaching degrees, and they don't want to be a teacher. They have no passion for being a teacher. Why are they doing something like that when that is not their purpose? It's because people have told them, well, this is the industry now. This is where people are going. This is where people are making money. This is, this is the thing to do. This is going to be the safe route for you. And I get that. But then we waste time. We waste time, and down the line when we are 50, 55, then we look around and we're like, life has passed us by, and you're still wishing you had written that book. You're still wishing that you had, taken that trip. Time wasted because you got confused on your purpose. That's what happened. Let me tell you, I tell women this all the time. My job is not to tell you, right, what you should be doing. My job, I feel, that God has positioned me for, is to help you be able to tap into that personal power that you have, that inner knowing that you have, so that you can bring that vision to life. No one else needs to tell you what that is, but through time spent, just self-reflection, being with God, those things will come to you. And I got to tell you this because I remember when I started going to school, that's right, help you tap into that personal, that inner knowing. When I got my divorce, I literally was standing at a fork in the road, and I said, God, what do I do now? Now, I've always been an entrepreneur. I wanted to start my own foundation, always wanted to do a nonprofit, but I had something else in mind for that nonprofit. And nothing would work. Nothing would work. And I'm like, what is this? And when all of it was said and done, and I asked God, what should I do? God said, I heard in my spirit, school. And I said, what? I don't want nothing to do with school. I'm an entrepreneur. What do I need to go to college for? I just heard school. And it kept nagging at me. Right. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. I am not taking out any school loans. I'm not doing this. But something was pushing me, Revel. And I'll tell you what. I said, okay, God, if this is really from you, if this is what you want me to do, I'm going to take the first step. And if the doors keep opening, because I am not taking out a school loan, I will go. In 2 weeks, I was enrolled in college. And I did not, even now I'm in my third year, I'm not taking out any loans. Last year, I went to school, and it was all on grants and scholarships. Okay? And as soon as I got into college, I realized, okay, God is trying to position me for something. Okay? This is knowledge that I can use, and I don't have to put myself into debt for it. And so from that point, I have been growing in that, moving more and more towards my purpose. And this is the thing about listening to God. This is the thing about being open to God, is that purpose stirring up in you, He is going to make a way for you to move into that. And a lot of times when we see this delay happening, we're wondering, well, what is this? And what it is God is trying to position you. He is preparing you for what comes next. And I think about Ruth. When I think about Ruth, and that's right, He always makes a way. When I think about the story of Ruth, everybody looks at that story like, oh yeah, she found her Boaz. But Boaz aside, Ruth found her purpose, because within her was the seed to the heir of the throne, of a king, of David. She didn't know what she was going into when she left and went with Naomi. She could have gone back to her hometown where it was safe and comfortable. But there was a purpose waiting for her. And something was moving her to do that. And that's what happens when we listen to God and move in our purpose. And a lot of times too, when our purpose, when we have these visions, we sort of downplay it. We downsize it because it's too scary for us to handle. And we think this can't be, this is my ego. This isn't God. And one of the worst things that can happen sometimes is when we start going out and talking to people in our circle, and they start telling us things, and it starts discouraging us. And I'm sorry to say this, but this can happen a lot with our brothers and sisters in the church. The saints can be some of the most discouraging ones, because they will tell you, oh, well, you know, you gotta wait, you can't move ahead of God. You know, they got you thinking smaller. They put God in a box. And so that's why I said you have to be very discerning about who you speak to. But in that beginning stage, I would say, don't even talk to anyone. Spend a lot of time in prayer, in self-reflection, just one-on-one with God. You don't need anybody's approval. What's for you is for you. What God has for you is for you. And no one else needs to tell and speak into your life and tell you any differently. So I want you this week to walk out your purpose. Take the steps. Listen for the promptings. Be sensitive to the Holy Spirit. And know, oh my gosh, you're opening a hair salon and healing center. You had lots of fears. See, the doors are open. Walk through it. That is awesome, Veronica. You see what can happen? And that's what I want us to do. Yes, amen. That's what I want us to do. You know, when we've come out of some situations and it you know, it's beaten us down, our self-esteem, our self-confidence, we are taking on messages that people have told us over the years, that keeps us stuck. It really does. And it keeps us not self-assured in ourselves and the decisions that we're making. So no matter what's going on, no matter what has happened in your life, no matter what someone has told you, no matter what you have done, no matter, there's a stirring there. And if you feel that stirring, go to God with that. Ask God to lead the way. Open the doors, show you, and you'll see it. You'll see it start to unfold and start to happen. So I hope that this has really blessed you today. God is faithful. He is. I'm telling you, I can't do life without him. And I refuse to. So this is an exciting week. I'm going to be scoping again on Wednesday and Friday and probably Saturday and Sunday, because I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek, an inside look into the retreat this weekend when the women start to arrive, even before they arrive. And just share with you some of the things that we're going to be doing, how we're going to be playing. And there's no life without him. That's right. That's right. Hey, I wanted to tell you, Veronica, I was watching your scope where you were cutting your hair, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's got skills. You were cutting your own hair, girl. That is good. So you guys follow Veronica Created Results, please. And you know what I love about your scopes is you're natural. You're real, you know, and you're just doing your thing and you're being you. And I appreciate that. And, you know, and that's the same thing here. I'm just going to give you me. This is me. This is be myself. That's right. And be yourself. That's right. God created you the way you are, and you are beautiful. So that is awesome. So I want to thank you guys for joining me again today, and I'll be on again on Wednesday. If you want to catch any of my archives, you can catch them on YouTube. For those of you that are watching the YouTube, you can't leave hearts, but you can give me a thumbs up and you can subscribe to my channel. So you are free. That's right. We are all free. We are all free, most definitely. So, and I've got some exciting things in the works for November, but I'm going to wrap things up and then I'll make an announcement on that probably after the retreat. But in the meantime, I want you guys to go out, walk in purpose today, and go out and change the world, okay? I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, Veronica. Bye, Revel. Bye, Grace. Thanks for joining me today.